Welcome to the 2020 virtual rendezvous for the Global Organization for Tree Climbers. I want to welcome everybody here, everybody from around the world who is joining to watch this webinar on how to rescue cats out of trees. I hope you enjoyed this webinar, and we are pleased to come to you from Atlanta, Georgia. My name is Norma Adams, aka Catmandu Rescue. I've been rescuing cats for 3.5 years now. I've rescued over 534 cats out of trees. The statistic that I'm most proud of is the fact that out of those 534 cat rescues, those have been attempts. They've all been successful, and no cat has been hurt, nobody's been hurt, and no property's been hurt. So I have a safety record that I'm very, very, very proud of. I've been climbing trees for 6 years, and I tell you what, rescuing cats out of trees saved me as a recreational tree climber. And let me tell you why. When I was climbing recreationally, I may climb a tree once a month. When I gathered with the Atlanta Tree Climbing Club to get together to climb with them, I was a stem climber. In other words, I climbed up the stem of the tree maybe to my tie-in point and stayed there. I did nothing else. The risk reward I did not feel was great enough for me to risk my life and limb to go out on limbs, to transfer from one tree to another, to create high lines, to do any of that. But when I started rescuing cats, the risk reward changed because I knew if I got that cat down, I relieve that cat from suffering, and also the owners of the cat were greatly relieved. I think that the greatest reward that I get from rescuing cats is the joy that I see from the owners of the cats when I rescue them. When I go up into a tree and bring a cat that's been there anywhere from 24 hours to as long as 2 weeks, and bring it down to the owner and see the relief on their faces, that is reward for me to rescue a cat. I think you'll get an idea of this from a couple of videos that I've shot in rescuing cats. So if we can go to the video now and show some of the joy that are in the faces of the people that I bring the cats down.
You are amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, how's she look, okay?
She looked okay. Here, hold her. Hold her. Just hold her.
Come on, babe. Thank you so much, honey. So much.
You're welcome. Okay, here. All right.
I'm going to leave her in the bag till we put her in the car.
All right, yeah. Okay.
No, baby. Mommy's right here. Yes, right here, baby. I hear you, baby. I hear you, baby. Can I hold him?
Don't let him get loose.
Oh, you smell horrible, baby.
Can I hold him? Thank you so much.
Why do I rescue cats? Well, I rescue cats for two reasons. For the recreation of it, primarily, but also to serve other people. 7 years ago, I retired after 23 years of being a state lobbyist. And when I retired, I decided that I would never work for another person again. I've been offered many jobs in those 7 years, but I've never taken them. So when I rescue cats, I do not do it for pay. A lot of times people do want to participate. They do want to contribute something. They either want to give to the charities that I have listed on my website, or they may want to just give a contribution to me, which I do take to cover something my expenses. But the reason I do it is not for any kind of reward that I might get, but because of the joy that I've seen in the faces of the people that rescue the cats. If you want to get into cat rescue, I think you need two things. One, you need to understand cats and have a knowledge of cats. All my life I've had a cat as a pet. I grew up with cats. I understand how they react. I understand their body language. So that lifetime experience with cats comes in real handy when I go up in the tree and I see how the cat's reacting. I know when a cat's angry. I know when a cat's afraid. I know when a cat is wanting help. And that knowledge comes from just experience with a cat. But also the other thing you need is just basic tree climbing experience. Be able to get into a tree safely, stay there safely, and to be able to work in the tree safely. And I want to thank Hank Blankenstein for running me through the basic tree climbing course, where he showed me the tricks of the trade, so to speak, in recreational tree climbing. I want to thank Peter Jenkins, who is some consider it one of the fathers of recreational tree climbing, for introducing me to rescuing cats out of trees. So that's the experience that is needed. And then the second thing you need is some really good equipment. And I tell you what, over the 3.5 years that I've been rescuing cats, I've collected the equipment that I need in order to do a cat rescue safely, to do it efficiently, and to protect myself. So let me go through some of the equipment you need. Of course, you need a saddle, and all of us have our preferences in saddles. I got an Onyx here, and you know, you have your own. I have a 30-foot double-sided lanyard, which really comes in handy in tying yourself into a tree. In my throw bag here, I have what I call my big hook, or my sky hook. It helps me to transfer from one tree to the other, and also it helps me to get closer to the cat if I need to. And this comes in real handy. Another thing you're going to need is you're going to need a cat bag, and this was one of the first pieces of equipment that I had and developed before I started rescuing cats. And this is my cat bag, and this is my own creation. I took a piece of cloth, probably 2 yards, made a bag out of it, and what makes this so unique is the fact that I have sewn in the bottom probably a 6-inch square net, and you can see the net there. And what this net allows you to do is, when you're going up a tree and you got your gloves on, it allows you not to have to take your gloves off in order to get the cat in the bag. Now I take my gloved hand and run it through here, and then my hands go through the net like that. And so, you know, the cat's running around in the tree, and I can grab the cat like that, right behind, this is called scruffing, scruff the cat behind the neck like that, and pull the bag over the cat, wrap it up, and I got a cinch cord here that I got from an Army-Navy store, and I just cinch it up and come down with the cat. So that's my cat bag. Another thing you have to have, and every safe climbing recreational climber has this, is a helmet. And this is my helmet, and I like this. It has a shield, and this comes in handy if the cat is fighting with you. That's rare, but and so you don't get scratched. But also it keeps them from peeing on you. Now that happens more often getting scratched, and so that protects you if the cat should do that. But also too, I have a GoPro camera velcroed on here, right here, so I can take this off, and you know, it's easy. And I video most of my rescues, and there's several reasons why I video my rescues. One is I like documenting it, and I like sharing it with my friends and colleagues, but also I also have a disclaimer that I do before I do a rescue, so I like to get that on video as well. Another thing that I use that saves a lot of time is my Big Shot. And this is my Big Shot here, and this saves me a bunch of time. I don't know about you, but I'm a terrible throw bag thrower. I can do it 20 feet, but give me 40 feet, and you know, it takes me all day. But this Big Shot, almost every time, first shot, I get my tie-in for it. So this was well worth the investment. It's 12 feet long, and you get this from Tree Stuff or any other major arborist supply. So that's a must-have, I think, for getting your rope into the tree. And regularly, I'm getting my rope 100 feet up in the tree. So that's not unusual at all. And then, so another two other items that has saved me a lot of time in a tree, and it's about time. I mean, it used to take, you know, 5 and 6 hours to rescue cats out of trees because they didn't have the equipment. But having the right equipment makes short work of things. The other thing I have is my long grab pole, and this is my long grab pole, and it allows you to get a cat that might be way out on a limb that you want to get out to, but the setup would just take too long, or it may be dangerous if you get out there with the cat on the limb. The cat may jump, might fall, the limb may break. Limbs breaking happen quite a bit, and so the grab pole allows you to safely get the cat off the limb without putting additional weight on the limb. And this thing is really handy, and it's extendable, and so I can reach out almost 15 feet with this long grab pole. And related to the long grab pole is my short grab pole. Now, what I came to find out is that there's some cats that are really heavy, and for me to scruff them, I cannot hold them. I mean, I just cannot hold them. Or I scruff them and I just can't get them out of the crotch that they're stuck in, or pull them off the limb. I just can't do it. And or you scruff a cat, he panics, he turns his head 360 degrees, and he bites you. Now that's only happened a couple of times, but it's enough to say I don't want that to happen again. And so this is my short grab pole, and the short grab pole works just like the long grab pole. The kitty, you know, the kitty's out on a limb, you know, he's out on a limb, and he doesn't want to come to you, and he's looking up, which means he's going to go up the tree, or he's looking down. That means he's going to jump or fall, or he's out on a dead limb. So you're going to take the grab pole and you're going to pull it under his leg, over his head like that. And usually what they do, they will step through the loop, okay? And you want to get them right behind, ideally right behind the legs. And the way that looks, it looks like that, okay, when you got them. Now, when I get them behind the legs like this, I tighten that thing up as tight as I can. It scares them to death. They don't like it, but it doesn't hurt them. It just scares them to death. And also by tightening it up, many times what will happen is that they will try to get out of it while you tighten it up, and you get them on the back hip there. And if you got it tight enough, they won't be able to get through the hip. I've dropped when I first started doing this, I dropped a couple of them because I didn't want to get it real tight, but get it real tight. And you can pull them off the limb, you can hold them there, and you can hold it away from you. And then, when you got them secure, then you can use the next item, piece of equipment that you need to rescue cats successfully. And that is my handy dandy hand net. Again, you can get this. You can get this at Tomahawk Live Trap or some of the other animal rescue sites. But I will have a link at the end of my video showing you where you can get all of these pieces of equipment. But once you secure the cat, you can put the cat in the net like that and cinch it up, and the cat's not going to come out until you release the cat. And the way you release the cat is just like that. So those are three pieces of equipment that absolutely need in order to be a successful cat rescuer. Other things that I have is I have a large net. It's 12 by 12. I put this underneath a tree if I think the cat's going to fall, the limbs rotten, if the cat's going to climb down unexpectedly. I only do it if I think that's going to happen and if I have the personnel to do it. Ideally, it's great to have 4 people holding the four corners. Sometimes I have set the net up by myself, utilizing the next piece of equipment, which is, and all of us have this, which is your throw line. Okay, I use the throw line to get my rope up in the tree, but also once I get the rope up in the tree, I can use the throw line to tie the net to other trees so nobody has to hold it. And I've done that many times. So you're going to want a throw line, which I have 400 feet of. Now, why do I have 400 feet of throw line? Well, I've climbed many times 100 feet up in a tree to get a cat. Well, you're going to isolate the limb. So 100 feet up, 100 feet down, that's 200 feet. If you need to isolate it, then you got 100, 200. Then you're going to isolate it, so you got another 100, another 100. So that's 400 feet. So that's why I have 400 feet of throw line. Now, what is this quart liter water bottle for? Painted white. This is used to isolate the limb. You know, to pull 400 feet of throw line through the limbs. Sometimes it takes a lot of weight. Sometimes I have to tie 2 of these together to pull the line through the canopy. And I also got reflective tape on it, so when I do it at night, I can see it going over the limb that I want to go over. So this is a lot cheaper than throw bags, and if I get this stuck up in a tree, I've lost $1. If I get 2 throw bags lost up in a tree, it's $40. So that's why I have that. So I also have at least 400 feet of rope. A lot of times I put 2 ropes up in the tree. If I don't feel safe with my first rope over the first limb, I will put another piece of rope up in the tree just to be safe. And I've done that many times. I've even had 3 ropes in the tree because I didn't trust the tree. I didn't trust myself even. So I had 3 lines in the tree just in case one of them broke. So you want at least 400 feet of rope, and I do use 5-gallon buckets. I just found that the 5-gallon buckets work better for me. They're cheap, and the rope pulls out of it easily and goes in easily as well. So that's why I got 5-gallon buckets. The other thing that you're going to need is a live trap. A lot of times I just run out of time in the daytime. It gets dark, and I don't want to leave the cat up there overnight, and I don't want to come back the next morning and have to chase it around a tree. So a lot of times I will put a trap up in the tree to get the cat by trapping it. My live trap is almost 100% effective. If I put the trap up, the cat's going to be in it the next day. And I usually put cat food in it, and the cat walks in. And the live trap, looks like this, and you can get these almost anywhere. Home Depot, Tractor Supply, Amazon. These are very common, and I wish they made them lighter because it's kind of heavy, but it's very effective in getting a cat out of a tree. And you'll see examples of that in this video. Another thing I have is binoculars. I use the binoculars mostly to see where my rope is in the tree. And these are, my binoculars are very powerful, but anything 8 power or above is good. Sometimes I use it to see the cat, but that's kind of rare. You need, if you're in a southern climate like I am, Atlanta, Georgia, you got mosquitoes. So you're going to want to have mosquito repellent. Another thing I bring with me is extra set of clothes. We got poison ivy vines here in Georgia, and I'm allergic to poison ivy. Poison ivy is a vine that if you get it on your skin, you break out in these little bumps, and it itches like mad for about a week. And so I don't like that. I try, if I'm going up a tree with poison ivy, and I will do that, I will try the best I can to make sure I wash my hands real good and take off the clothes that have the poison ivy on it. So you want an extra set of clothes. Also, the extra set of clothes, a lot of times, particularly in warm weather like during the summer, I am soaking wet from sweat. Heat doesn't bother me, but being in wet clothes bothers me. So that's why I have the extra set of clothes. Another thing I have that comes in real handy is I have 2 floodlights, battery-powered floodlights, and these are Ryobi floodlights. And a lot of times at the end of the day, I run out of daylight, and I can light up the tree with this. Sometimes, if it's warranted and I think it's prudent, I will go at night to rescue a cat. If I think I can get the light into the tree to see the tree clearly and to see the cat clearly. Another thing that I got from Harbor Freight, but you can almost get these from any hardware store, is a focusable headlamp. And this thing is really powerful. It puts on a powerful beam into the tree and on the cat. And I use this when I go up a tree at night. So battery-powered floodlights and headlamps are really good to have. I have a rain suit just in case I want to put it on and keep somewhat dry. And I also have extra helmets, and I also have extra gloves. A lot of times I will send other people up in the tree. I want them to have a helmet and gloves. Sometimes people are working under the tree with me, and I'm concerned that something might fall on, so I put a helmet on them. So I do have extra helmets and extra gloves. One of the items that I invested in is a Home Again universal chip reader for pets. Now, chips are used to locate the owner of the pet if they've been chipped. This is a pretty expensive item. I think it's $350 or something like that. But the times I've used it and times I've reunited a cat with the owner has been worth it to be able to have this on hand, to be able to read the chip and make a phone call and find out whose cat that is and be able to contact that person. So that's something you might want to consider. So that's the basic equipment. In the last year, I have not ever gone to a cat rescue and said, oh, I wish I had that piece of equipment. Everything I have everything I need in this 2003 Catmobile, Toyota Camry. And my wife and I, we've converted it to a Catmobile, not intentionally, but it just happened. And we get everything in that car, and we're set up to do what we need to do to rescue cats. So let me, all right, let me talk to you about the phone call. Okay, that's how people contact me. They usually find out about me either through Facebook or through my website or through a friend, word of mouth. That's how they usually find out about me. And usually they call me. And so I get this call, and then being from the South, you know, you don't just say what you need. No, you first do this chit chat. You talk about the day and how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And that goes on for a little while. And then finally the question is, you got a cat in the tree? And they go, yeah. And then they'll talk another 5 or 6 minutes about how the cat got outside and how it got up a tree and how long it's been there and blah, 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 blah. Really, the only thing I need to know, there's 3 questions that I need to know. One is it your cat? A lot of times people are calling for cats that they don't know who they belong to. They just, it's a cat up in a tree, and they don't know who it belongs to, and they're concerned about it, so they call me. So I ask them if it's their cat. If they know who's the owner of it, then I insist that the owner call me. I don't want to be more concerned about the cat than the owner is, and so that happens. Then the second question, is it your tree? Very early in doing these cat rescues, I got in a couple of trees where I'd be up in the tree rescuing a cat, and the owner comes home and really goes crazy seeing me up in the tree rescuing a cat. And so I ask, whose tree is it? If they say it's not their tree, I ask, will I have permission to climb that tree? And I require them to get permission for me to climb that tree. Well, I've had once been denied to climb a tree. But in that situation, the tree was on the other side of a fence of the owner's property. So I climbed the tree of the owner and reached over with a grab pole on the neighbor's tree and grabbed the cat and pulled it in. So that's the only time I've been denied not to be able to climb a tree. Sometimes they deny it, but if I say to them, I have insurance, then they let me climb the tree, and that usually works out. So, but I never want to be arrested for trespassing, which very early in the career, a couple of times I was threatened with that, and I don't want that to happen. So I ask, whose tree is it? And then the third thing I ask is, will there be someone there on the ground to assist me? Now, my wife, I mean, she's real good about writing the cat rescue stories and also doing the video, but she ain't going to run around the tree and bring things to me. So I need someone that can be on the ground to assist me, either when I'm trying to isolate a limb or when I'm up in the tree and I need something like my grab pole or a special tool or something. So they can put it on the rope and I can pull the rope up. So I do require that there be someone on the ground. And I also require that person be 18 years old or older, because sometimes I have to ask questions like, you know, I want to make sure that they're okay with what I'm doing. And, you know, I don't want a kid making that decision. I want an adult making that decision and being able to speak for the person who does own the cat if it's not the owner of the cat. So that's the call I get. Now, so then when I get to the cat rescue site, I have a routine I do, and I immediately take control of the situation. And what I mean by take control, they want the cat down. I want the cat down. They obviously have trusted me to get their cat. So I come in, I said, you got a cat in the tree? They say, yeah. I say, what tree is it? They tell me what tree it is. And then I go into introducing myself, and I usually videotape this. I introduce myself and do my risk disclaimer. And probably one of my YouTube videos showed this pretty clearly. So if we could go to the YouTube video. Okay, ma'am, I've done 529 cat rescues. They've all been successful. No cat's been hurt. Nobody's been hurt. No property's been hurt. But there's always risk involved.
Understood.
If you're willing to accept those risks, I'm willing to accept my risk to go up and get him.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. 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 Once I've introduced myself, there's several things that I do. I survey the cat and its history. And what I mean by that, I will ask about the cat. I will say, tell me about your cat. And a lot of times they will say, this cat is a really friendly cat. You know, he loves everybody. That's a really good sign, particularly if they say that and the cat's crying up in the tree while I'm asking these questions. That's a really good sign. But if they say, well, he's kind of skittish, he doesn't like strangers, but he's a nice cat, I've never seen him hurt anybody, then I know that probably if I go up the tree, the cat's not going to come to me. Probably the cat will run, will probably run from me just as he runs from strangers when they come into the house. A lot of times I'll say, if I came to your house, what would your cat do? And if they said the cat will run under the bed, the cat will probably run the furthest out on the canopy as possible. So that tells me a lot about the cat. And it also gives me some idea about what strategies I'm going to need. And then the second thing I do, which is really important, and I almost do it unconsciously anymore, but I survey the ground beneath the tree where the cat's at. Now, if the cat, okay, you see this tree here? Okay, that tree there? I mean, it's pretty clean, okay? If the cat was up in this big oak tree and went out anywhere and he fell, the cat would probably be all right. I've seen cats fall several times, 100 feet from out of a tree onto hard ground, but and be okay. I mean, I've seen that many times. Cats do land on their feet and they don't hit high terminal velocity, so they don't hit real hard. They hit hard, but I think they hit hard, but they're usually okay. Well, they are okay. I've never hurt a cat. But say the tree is right over something like this arbor, okay? This arbor, and you got these planters under here. You know, that concerns me. That concerns me because if the cat should fall, and if that cat should fall on one of those things, the cat's going to get hurt. And so I will take special precaution. I will try to either move the stuff, or that's where the net comes out, okay? Or I'll try to make sure the cat is not over one of those things. Or if the cat's over one of those things, my strategy will be don't knock the cat out of the tree, don't scare the cat out of the tree, and that's where the live trap comes in, and that's where the long grab pole comes in. So those are the strategies I use. I think that's why I've been successful not to hurt a cat. I'm real conservative. I'd rather leave a cat up in the tree for a couple more days than to risk hurting a cat. I've never had to leave a cat in a tree a couple of days, but I'm prepared to do that. Okay, then the other thing I do is I survey the tree. One of the joys of rescuing cats is I get to climb a lot of trees, and people are inviting me to climb their tree. But some of these trees are bad. Some of them are real good, clean, like that oak tree I just showed you. Others are really gnarly. There's been some that have just been completely dead. There are some that are really thin. So all of those type of trees require a strategy to get into that tree, and to do it safely. If the rotten trees that I've encountered, I've used high lines where the rotten tree luckily was right between two strong other trees, and I put a line in between those trees and line up to the line going across horizontally, and climb the line next to the dead tree, and have been able to successfully get a rescue that way. But it requires you spending some time on the ground surveying. I say every minute spent surveying the tree saves me at least 30 minutes in complications when I get into the tree. So I take my time surveying the tree, and also I don't want to get hurt. So also too, you got to decide what kind of strategy you're going to use with the cat. Again, you want to make sure the cat is rescued, and you also want to make sure he doesn't do something that complicates the situation. Whenever possible, I try to get above the cat, because if you go straight up with a skittish cat, the cat's going to go straight up and probably end up at the top of the tree, and you're going to end up at the top of the tree to finally get it, and that just makes increases how much time you spend. Whenever possible, I try to go up the tree, and if it's a skittish cat, try to go up a tree next to the tree that the cat's in, so he feels a little bit safe, so he doesn't have to go up. Or I will go around the back side of the tree where the cat can't see me, and I go up back side of the tree and then come down. So you got to determine what strategy you're going to use to rescue the cat. So let's talk about cat rescue strategies. And I have several. I probably have more than a dozen strategies I use, and I'm going to share with you some of those right now. Probably the most common and the preferred is the grab bag. Okay, I've already showed you a little bit about the grab bag. Now, the grab bag is great for cats that are nice. You know, I've had cats jump on me, you know, want to be rescued. They crawl around my neck and they want to be rescued. Actually, this complicates a grab bag, because you got to get your bag on, but at the same time the cat's climbing all over you. But the grab bag is the easiest and also the least traumatic to the cat. A lot of cat rescuers can pick the cat up like that and put them in the bag. I usually have to scruff them and put them in the bag. Is what I have to do. But if you can do a grab bag, do a grab bag. And most, about half my rescues are grab bags. And I'll tell you what, let's go to YouTube and look at a couple examples of a grab bag. Moonbeams in the bag. It's hard being a kitty. You know? It's just really hard being a kitty. Yeah, it is. With global warming and all that, it's just hard. Yeah. All kinds of predators trying to get you. You know? Oh, man. Oh, you're a cutie. There you are. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, I got you. Okay, Cleo's in the bag. Okay, all right, those are examples of a grab bag. Then the next common method that I use is the short grab pole. Now, I've talked a little bit about the grab pole, and this thing has really, I really earned respect for using this device. Some cats are just too heavy for me to hold, and so this allows me to hold the cat securely in the tree once I get him. and so I use the grab pole quite a bit. It also allows me to use my net, and so that the cat can stay away from me and not scratch me or bite me. And I know the cat doesn't like it, but you know, they're happy once I get down, and once I get them down, they don't seem to hate me. So I like the short grab pole, and I tell you what, a YouTube video showing how this is used might help in illustrating it. Okay, I'm up here in the tree with Tom Tom, and he's not happy with me being here. I know from last time, I know I didn't scruff him, and he fought like mad on the grab pole. So I'm going to try to get a little bit closer, then use the short grab pole, and hopefully he'll be okay. Won't you, Tom Tom? You'll be okay, won't you, Pumpkin? Hey, Pumpkin. Hey, Pumpkin. Yeah, Pumpkin. Yeah. Yeah, Pumpkin. You alright, huh? Are you okay? Huh, Pumpkin? Huh? Are you okay? I hope he doesn't remember this thing. Okay. All right, I got him. Cat rescue 528. Okay, and then related to the short grab pole is the long grab pole. And again, I've showed you the long grab pole, but when you want to use the long grab pole is when the cat's way out on a limb, you can't get to it, and this is just the only realistic option. Unless you want to put a trap up in the tree. So this works just like the short grab pole, but it allows for a longer reach. And when I usually get up in the tree with this, I will tie this to my rope so that if I, for some reason, should drop it, for whatever reason, I've never dropped it, but for whatever reason, I have it tied to my my rope. So that it doesn't come falling to the ground, maybe even with the cat. The long grab pole works really well, and once you get proficient with it, you'll see the utility of it. And let me show you an example of how I use the long grab pole in a tree with this YouTube video. Rescue 370 something, and this is the second time I've been here. I like to do a short pole, but I don't think I can reach him. Oh golly, I got to do it. Okay, I'm bringing the long pole up. Looks like he's trying to help me. Okay, he is. He's trying to help me. I got him. Okay, I'm gonna bring him down. I don't know, I'm gonna bring him down in the pine cut. Come on. Okay, I got him in the net. Okay. Oh. Okay. We got the kitty. He's okay. He's okay. Cleo, Phoebe is okay. All right, here I go. All right, another technique that I use, and I use it not a whole lot. These first three strategies are probably the most common, but another strategy I use is sending the owner up to get the cat. Now, again, after surveying a cat, I usually can tell if the cat's going to come to me, and once I get in the tree, I know whether the cat's going to come to me. I sometimes bribe it with food, I sweet talk it, I do everything I can to make it feel comfortable with me. But if that cat shows no interest in coming to me, I will often send the owner up. Now let me talk about sending the owner up. Now sending the owner up, I don't force anybody. I don't encourage anybody to go up. What I do, I make the offer, and what I say to them is, the cat won't come to me, but he might come to one of you if one of you want to go up. And that's all I say. And if someone jumps on it, I do it. If they say, no, not me, I'm afraid of heights, never send them up. There'd be a liability in the tree. So I will often, not often, but I will frequently send the owner up, and this video will show you an example of what that looks like. Okay, there's two things I can do.
Okay.
I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
I should have listened to my instincts. The cat doesn't like me. Okay. Okay, he ain't gonna come to me. Okay, he might come to one of you. If one of you willing to go up, I can get you up there.
I'll do it.
You'll do-
I'll do
Okay, who does he like? Who
it.
does
He likes me, but I'm kind of heavy.
Who does he come to? Who does he come to?
I'll do it.
You do it. You do it. Okay.
Yeah, I can do it.
All right, back up.
Oh, sorry,
Okay,
sorry.
I gotta get set up to do that. Okay. Okay. Will he come to you?
I think so. I hope so.
Okay. Let me look and see what's going on here. Okay. My instinct said this cat's not crying,
Yeah.
and I was hoping I could get down before he went out on somewhere else. The cat's not crying, so usually that's a sign they want somebody to help them.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times I send people up, so I can get you up there safely. Okay.
Okay.
You're doing good. Okay. Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
What's your name again?
Sydney.
Sydney? Okay. Here we go, Sydney. Hold on. Go to him.
Frankie, buddy.
Tell me when you're at the limb.
Okay, I'm almost there.
Oh, oh. Are you there? Put him in. You got him?
Got him.
Okay, you ready to come down?
Out of my hair. Alright, come get this cat.
Hey, kitty.
Hurry! Come get him. Thank God.
Hey, show my wife.
Oh my lord.
Hey, you did good.
I
You
was so
did
scared
good.
he was gonna go somewhere else. Woo.
You did good.
Thanks.
The video showed you that showed you a double pulley system. Now I have a single pulley system and a double pulley system. Now a single pulley system, as you know, halves the weight of the person, and the single pulley system, the pulley's at the tie-in point, and so if the person weighs what I weigh, I'm pulling half their weight. So that's not impossible, and if they assist me, that's good. And so one of the things I will ask people before I send them up is, how much do you weigh? If they weigh more than me, then I do the double pulley system. The double pulley system is a pulley on the person's harness and a pulley at the top. And what that does is again divides the weight by 4, and I'm able to pull the person up a bit slowly, but I'm able to pull the person up. A lot of times I will have somebody help me pull them up, and what I have as a capture device is a gigri, so that when pulling it up, I'm taking up the slack and it's held. And so for whatever reason I lose grip, they're not coming out of the tree. And so that system is as safe as any system that I set up for myself. So I feel pretty confident that it's a safe system for the people going up. I've never had a bad experience with a person going up to get their cat. Now the cat, a lot of times, I mean, the cat usually comes to them. That's the purpose. And a lot of times the person can scruff the cat and put them in the cat bag just like I do. Sometimes they just hold them and bring them down. Now with the pulley system, they can come down and not even have to hold the rope. So I do use the strategy of sending somebody up. The other strategy I use is the live trap. This live trap is great, particularly in really scary situations where the cat is all over the tree, his fear of falling, bad situation, running out of daylight. It's a really good system. Now I set this trap up because of things I learned. I learned one thing, that cats don't like to walk on wire. Okay, that's the floor. So I put a piece of plastic in the bottom, corrugated plastic, so the cat won't have to walk on wire. That seems to help. And then the other thing that I have 3 pulleys, ratcheted pulleys. And you can get these at Home Depot or other hardware stores, but it's a ratcheted pulley. And I use that to secure the trap to the tree. And usually the flatter the limb, the better it is. Now you can get it almost like that, but any more than that, you're not gonna be successful. The cat's not gonna go in it. He'll slide to the bottom. So you want to get it as flat as possible on the flat limb where the cat's at. So that's how I use the live trap to get a cat. And let's go to this video and show you an example of it. Okay, this is Cat Rescue 261, and Grayson is up this pine tree here, probably 50 feet, and he's right there. And started working on it last night. We put up a trap, and we're gonna go up there and get the trap. He's in it now, so he's trapped, and ready to come down. How you doing, Pumpkin? Huh? You don't look happy. Hey, Key. What are you doing, huh? Okay.
He's gonna run for
You
it,
doing
eh?
okay, Pumpkin? Huh? Okay. Then another strategy I use. Now, I don't do this intentionally, but it happens. And so I have to anticipate it, is what I call the chase down. Like I said, my normal strategy is to get above the cat. And when I get above the cat, a lot of times that cat reacts just like I think it might react. It's going to go somewhere. It's either going to go out or it's going to go down. And if it's on a long limb, it probably go out. But if there's not a long limb it can go out on, it'll probably go down. And if a lot of times, when I anticipate that, I will have the people set up the net. I mean, I will say, get the net, and they'll go get the net, and they'll hold it. 4 people at 4 corners, they'll hold the net, and at the base of the tree where the cat's at. Or I may have already set it up. I've done that many times with using that, using a throw line to set it up. And so I chased the cat down, and this video will show it. It's okay, Pumpkin. It's okay. Kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. It's okay. Okay. It's okay, Pumpkin. It's okay. Yeah, it is. It's okay. I know it. I know, Pumpkin. Okay, she's coming down. She's coming down.
All right, Callie, good girl.
Good girl. Good girl.
Good girl.
Go on down. Go on down. You got it. Go on.
Good girl.
Go on. You got it.
You got it, Callie.
Go on, Callie.
Good girl.
Yeah, that's good. Callie's down. Cat Rescue 242. You're welcome. Okay, another thing that I use, I don't like using it. I've done it, and anything over 40 feet is probably not wise to do. I got a fairly large net, but anything over 40 feet, half the time I miss the cat. The cat will go out on a limb, and I can't get to it either with a long grab pole or with long grab pole or a limb walk. I can't get there. So we'll shake the limb, and the cat will come out of the tree into the net. Now, again, under 40 feet, preferably under 30 feet, you're pretty accurate. And I use my weighted bottle to find out where the cat's going to fall, or try to determine where the cat's going to fall. But still, you've got to be real careful. And we'll hold the net, and the cat will come down using the net or the tarp. And now let me tell you about the net. The reason I use a net, is versus a tarp now, is you see these right here? When the cat, with a tarp, they hit the tarp and the cat's gone. I mean, it hits the tarp and it's out of there, okay? But with the net, it's got a lot more give, and when the cat falls into the net, he gets caught in it, and he can't get out of it, okay? And then people can cover him up and at the same time see it. So that's why I use the net. In this video, what you're going to see is the limb shake, and this again is, this cat was only about 25 feet up. The owners were anxious to get it down. We had the people, and so we did a limb shake, and we shook the cat into the net, and the cat was caught in the net, and that worked. I don't like doing limb shakes because you don't have any control, but when it's a short distance and you got the people there to help you, then it works. And so in that situation it did work. Okay, he's falling. He's falling. Okay. Cover him up, good. Cover him up, good. Okay, good job. Let me talk to you a little bit about night rescues. A lot of times I get phone calls, not in the middle of the night, but late evening, and someone calls me and says, my cat's been up in the tree for a week and I'm really concerned about it. And, you know, they really panic. I can hear the panic in their voice. And I know if I went there at the time they called me, it was going to be a night rescue. Sometimes I will do a night rescue. And what I usually do is I say to them, take a picture of the tree, of the whole tree, and indicate where the cat's at. Now, if they can take a picture of the tree at night and indicate where the cat's at, and I can see the whole tree and I can see the limbs, I'm pretty confident I can get in that tree pretty safely myself. And so if they send me a picture and I look at the tree and go, okay, I can see my tie-in point, I can see where the cat's at, and I can see what's underneath the cat, then I will often make a determination to go at night to rescue the cat. Just not so much for the people's sake, but the cat's sake, but for the people's sake. Also, too, I've learned that every delay that you have with rescuing a cat could cause harm for the cat. There's been a couple of times where I say, I'll be there the next morning, they call and they say, I'm sorry, the cat, he fell out of the tree and died. And that just breaks my heart, you know, when that happens. And so I don't want that to happen. So I will do a night rescue, but I only will do a night rescue if it's safe. And if I get there and I don't feel like it's safe, I can't see the tree clearly, I can't see the limbs clearly, the cat's up too high, I will come back the next morning. So that's about night rescues. But it does, I mean, night rescues can be fun. I don't get to climb any trees at night, but when I was a recreational tree climber, but I have lately. So, all right. Okay, let me talk to you about how do you get known as a cat rescuer. When I started, I knew that in order to rescue cats, people had to know I did that type of thing. And I rescued, my first rescue wasn't a cat, it was a drone. I rescued a drone. I thought I was going to get a lot of drones. 2 years went by before I got a call. 2 years. And I go, I mean, there's something's wrong here. So I knew I had to do something to get my name out there. And so first thing I did was I developed some flyers, and let me pull this flyer up for you. I developed some flyers, and we'll share this with you. I developed some flyers like this, and I took them to fire stations, I took them to humane shelters, animal shelters, police departments, anybody that might get a call concerning the need to get a cat out of a tree. And that immediately paid rich dividends. I mean, I got calls right away. Not, I mean, I wasn't overwhelmed, but I got a lot of calls. Another thing I did was I created a website, and on Google, I created a website. And I used to do test searches, cat in tree rescue. My name wouldn't come up. I mean, I would have to go 3 or 4 pages before I even see my name. So what I've learned is that as I've done more rescues, now I come up number 1. You do cat and tree rescue in my location, cat and tree, Georgia cat and tree rescue comes right up, and I get a lot of calls because of that. Another thing that happens too is when you rescue cats, not only are the owners happy, but a lot of times the neighborhood are happy. And these neighborhood apps, Facebook apps, people go on and say, hey, I got a cat up in the tree. How do I rescue it? And I mean, I see these posts, and my name comes up. Oh, call Catmandu Rescue. He rescued my cat. Blah blah blah. And they have my phone number, and people call me. So that's how you get known. I mean, it requires social media. It requires contacts with people that get calls for that type of thing, and police departments. I mean, for the fire department or police department, call me up and say, "Hey, Catmandu, we got a cat up in the tree. Can you come help us?" And that's great. I know that my name's out there. So that's what you got to do in order to get known as a cat in a tree rescuer. So again, I want to thank all of you for participating in this seminar with me. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to call me, email me, text me, whatever you want to do. I'll be glad to share anything I know. I'm in competition with nobody, and I want to help everybody. I wish I had some helpers, really. This year, I'm averaging 1 cat rescue a day, and sometimes, I mean, there might be 3 days that go by, but other days I'll get 4 or 5 calls, and many times that is overwhelming. And I wish I had other people in Georgia that I could refer people to. So I'm looking for people that want to learn this and do it. Another website I failed to mention is catinatreerescue.com. This is a website that has a directory of all over the United States of people that do this type of thing. And make sure you get your name, if you want to rescue cat, get your name on that directory list, because a lot of people at first found me through that, because it does come up pretty quickly. So again, thank you very much. I appreciate you listening and participating, and good luck with your cat rescues as you go forward.